You know, I don't know what that was. We would have connect more. It'll give us a better chance of winning games. So, of course, I wish all those plays connected. But it's football. It's not going to be perfect all the time.
These are young players that you're so invested in their development. So I'll let the week play out, make a decision later on that.
Fresh news from Cleveland, and things are becoming hotter quickly. The Browns' quarterback instability, which has persisted throughout the season, was recently discussed by star wideout Jeudy. To put it mildly, he didn't hold back either. Jeudy publicly supported Shedeur Sanders and questioned Kevin Stefanski's handling of the quarterback dilemma. Shedeur has been all you could hope for in a franchise quarterback, he added. Locked in, competent, learning the playbook, and gaining the respect of the locker room. Nevertheless, the coaching staff continues to refuse to give him the go-ahead. Joe Flacco is no longer with us. Even though Dillon Gabriel has been erratic, Shedeur consistently demonstrates leadership in moments that are impossible to overlook. It's not a coincidence when a top receiver begins to speak up in that way. It's an indication. The spectators and locker room sense it, and while Stefanski waits each week, the pressure only increases. Cleveland is in dire need of a spark, and that spark currently goes by the name Shedeur Sanders. It's an obvious message. The players have faith in him. His supporters have faith in him. It's time for the Browns to start believing as well.
Them guys been here since OTAs and since minicamp. They've been doing their thing. So we got a lot of trust in those guys.
Jerry Jeudy isn't the only one who has voiced support for Shedeur Sanders, though. Myles Garrett has also given the young quarterback high marks for his commitment and diligence. It's uncommon to see a player who regularly arrives at the facility before everyone else and stays long after the others have departed, Garrett said, highlighting Shedeur's dedication to the club. Additionally, by going to the coaches' offices and asking what he can do to stand out and get better, Sanders has gone above and beyond.
A good job, just understanding the plays, doing whatever the coach asks for him, and he's been doing a great job of just being a pro and, doing what he needed to do to be able to, once he get his chance, to take advantage of that. So, that's all we can ask for him to do. Once he get his opportunity, just take advantage of it.
Additionally, Myles Garrett expressed his sincere gratitude to Shedeur Sanders for his unwavering commitment and hard work, saying that he feels Sanders has merited every ounce of admiration for his efforts. Garrett noted that all athletes aspire to the maturity level that Shedeur has demonstrated, and he believes it's critical to recognize and value this maturity. Garrett claims that Shedeur's attitude to the game demonstrates an uncommon level of dedication that merits praise. Kevin Stefanski is finding excuses to keep Shedeur Sanders on the bench despite all the affirmation he has received from the locker room leaders. As if to reassure everyone that everything is under control, Stefanski has stated time and time again that he is unwilling to take chances with a young player like Shedeur. But it's becoming more and more obvious that he is making choices that will keep Shedeur out of the picture. Stefanski repeatedly argues that Shedeur is too young to handle the responsibilities and uses his age as justification for denying him the opportunity. However, he is also providing guys with a chance to produce, such as Quinshon Judkins, who did not even have a full training camp. Why shouldn't Shedeur be given the same opportunity if Judkins can perform well despite the circumstances?
Impressed you the most on how he's approached the game?
All the time he takes, showing up early. Coach's office is easily seen when you walk in the building, and almost every morning you see him in there, talking through plays, talking through schemes with coach, and making sure that he's ready for it.
However, Dan Orlovsky responded to Stefanski's remarks without holding back. Shedeur Sanders hasn't even been designated QB2 yet, which he voiced disappointment about, especially because there isn't any obvious competition for the position. Orlovsky posed a significant query, aiming it at the Browns' ownership. What became of their strategy for this season? The same strategy is intended to assess Dillon and Shedeur as possible quarterbacks in the future. He wasn't afraid to voice his disapproval of the team's administration, pointing out their lack of focus and direction, as well as their inconsistent and contradictory handling of the quarterback position.
Mindful of our players and our players' development, and I want to make sure that I'm always doing what's best for our players and, of course, our team. But
as the circumstances surrounding Shedeur Sanders continue to develop, the heat on the Browns only gets worse. Anal and fans. More and more analysts are calling on Stefanski to decide whether to keep Shedeur on the sidelines. Supporters of Shedeur merely wish for his success. Shedeur won't be held accountable, though, if the team keeps holding him back. The Browns will bear full responsibility for delaying his career. The frustration is growing, and it's becoming obvious that the Browns will be held accountable for the harm done to their potential if they don't alter quickly. Fans and commentators are focusing on the situation surrounding Shedeur Sanders as the Cleveland Browns continue to work through their quarterback controversy. Sanders' work ethic, maturity, and determination have been commended by important players like Myles Garrett and Jeudy, but head coach Kevin Stefanski is still hesitant to put him at quarterback. There are significant concerns over Stefanski's decision-making process and the future of the Browns' quarterback position due to his persistent unwillingness to give Shedeur a chance. Shedeur has demonstrated his abilities both on and off the pitch by attending every practice and meeting with the zeal and dedication required of a potential team captain. His teammates admire him because of his performance and eagerness to learn new things. However, Stefanski keeps making excuses, pointing to Shedeur's inexperience and youth as justifications for not starting him. This reasoning, however, breaks down when we observe that younger players, such as Quinshawn Jenkins, are given chances despite their lack of preparedness. Why shouldn't Shedeur be given the same opportunity if Judkins can perform well despite the odds? It's evident that Stefanski is under increasing strain, and the frustration is building. Supporters and experts are urging the Browns to act, since inaction on the part of the organization could harm Shedeur's career in addition to impeding his growth. If the organization keeps him on the sidelines, they will unavoidably be held accountable. With Shedeur Sanders, the Browns need to make a decision now and look to the future. If they don't, they run the risk of losing not only a gifted young quarterback, but also their reputation as a team that prioritizes player development and advancement. The Browns' long-term future may be determined by Stefanski's decisions and how he responds to this circumstance. So, what do you think? Do you think Stefanski is making a grave error by failing to give Shedeur Sanders a chance? Is he genuinely being cautious? Or is this an instance of missed opportunity and stubbornness? Could Shedeur be traded sooner rather than later, given the Raiders' alleged interest? And what would that signify for the Browns' future if it were to occur? Regarding their quarterback predicament, as well as their reputation for developing young players. Please share your opinions in the comment section below. I'd like to know what you think.